I'm making a coconut, lime and mango cake. Now my family are really upset because I'm going to use this cake as my Christmas cake this year. And normally I make a traditional dried fruit cake with lots of spices. And I'm in Australia this year for Christmas and it's hot and there are literally coconuts and fresh limes and fresh mangoes. And so I decided I'm going to make a really special cake using fresh mangoes. And you could use frozen mango in this cake as well, it's not a problem. I've just popped some coconut milk in here and I'm adding a bit of maple syrup. Now, I know how sweet my maple syrup is, so I know how much to add. In the recipe, you'll see what I've used, but if it's not quite sweet enough for you, add a bit more, or if it's too sweet, just add a bit less. So you work that out. But I've had coconut milk here and I've added maple syrup. You could use honey as well. I'm adding in a couple of eggs. And if you're vegan, instead of the eggs, you add 2 heaped tablespoons of psyllium husk powder, or you could also use ground flax seeds, same quantity. So it's got to be mixed together a little bit, just a bit. It doesn't have to be perfect because then you're going to mix in the flour and everything. Now I want to make this cake really nutritious, add extra fibre, extra protein and anti-inflammatory oils. And so instead of flour, and because it's a really special celebration cake, what I'm going to do is I've actually ground up raw almonds and sunflower seeds, half and half, just in my blender here. And I've ground it up into like a flour consistency. And I'm adding that as my flour. So I'm doing that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, these are really big limes, so I probably only need 1. If there were small limes, I'd use 2. But I'm going to zest the lime, and I'm going to just get all that lovely lime zest in. This ground nuts and seeds mix could be any nuts and seeds, literally whatever you've got in your cupboard or whatever your favourites are, or whatever's on special when your shops where you buy your nuts and seeds. And you can buy them whole and grind them up. It's better to store your nuts and seeds whole anyway rather than ground because they keep fresher for longer. And here in Australia, it's really hot. And so actually in the summer, I think it's even better to store your nuts and seeds in the fridge to keep them fresh. So here we go, I'm getting the zest of this lime in here. The whole thing, I want every single bit of zest. Oh, the smell coming off this is absolutely superb. I'll probably finish off and put some lime zest on the top of the cake when I'm decorating it. So I will just use this one large lime here, zested up. Amazing. Oh gosh, the smell. And then actually I'm not going to waste the lime at all here. I'm just going to use the juice as well in the cake. Just adds an extra zing and it cuts through the coconut milk flavour. It's really nice. There we go. Let's just get that lime juice in. Now I've added in the ground nuts and seeds, and then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add some desiccated coconut just to get a bit more of that coconut flavour going. And I'm going to now add a teaspoon and a half of baking powder, which helps the whole cake to rise. And I'm just going to fold this through. And the last thing I'm going to add in this cake mixture is some buckwheat flour. Now, I'm just adding this in to help the cake form a little bit. And I just like buckwheat flour because it's really quite high in fibre of all the flours. And it's actually naturally gluten-free, but you can use any flour that you've got in your cupboard. Just a little bit, just to help the cake firmer and set, which is fantastic. So that's all added in, and that's that beautiful cake mixture. I'll just try a bit. Oh yeah. So that's got lime, and it's got a bit of coconutty flavour, and it's perfectly sweet for me. And now I'm going to I just cut some mango cheeks in half, and I just scored them, and all I'm going to do is just put these little pieces of mango here into the cake and mix them through. Mango is actually really high in fibre, and it's teeming with anti-inflammatory polyphenols, which is great for your gut health. And of course, vitamin C, although some of the vitamin C will get killed off, or not killed off, but reduced in the cooking. And so, but absolutely loaded with fibre as well. And those polyphenols will still be massively in the mango once you've cooked this cake. So there we go. I'm going to pop it in the tin now, and I'm going to put it in the oven. So I've got cake out of the oven and I've left it to cool. I've actually left it to cool completely to room temperature, so it's easy to touch and handle, because I'm going to top it now with some coconut yogurt and a few kind of pretty bits and bobs. And the thing is, I didn't want the coconut yogurt to melt, if that's a thing. And here we go, let's pop it onto, there we are. So it's a delicious cake anyway and doesn't need a topping, but because it's for a celebration, I'm going to just pop this coconut yogurt on. Now this coconut yogurt is described as a Greek style, so that's because they popped thickening agent in it, and that's fine, it's all natural. And so it's lovely. You see how it's like a frosting? It's just amazing. And I've toasted up some coconut, shaved coconut. So I'm just gonna add that to the top, because that's actually really delicious anyway. And I just toasted it in a hot oven whilst the cake was cooking for like about 3 or 4 minutes. And I in fact toasted up these sunflower seeds as well. And I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna add a little bit of the lime zest here, because it's just so pretty and fragrant and delicious. And I think it looks gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. There we go. Now there's a lot of mango already in this cake, but you could actually just get 1/2 of a mango if you had fresh mango, and you could just like thinly slice it, perhaps, and just kind of like decorate the top with it. But this is only if you can get fresh mango. It just depends where you are when you're making this cake, which country. But I thought some sort of curls of fresh mango would be a bit beautiful on the cake. I don't know. I don't know about you. I love that. And then that is it. It's just going to be so delicious anyway. And this just finishes it off beautifully, I think.